Alright, everybody, as promised, we have Katy versus Hayes at Baylor's McLean Stadium. I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward. This production is a lot better. They got freaking time clock and everything up there. Shoot. Every high school game needs to look like this one. I guess that's what happened when you sponsor by
Final
Ford,
to Grapevine in Class 4A Division
so,
1, 34-19. This season they have defeated Vista Ridge, San Antonio Johnson, San Antonio Taft, and last week they won the Region 4 title by taking care of Vandergrift 38-14 at home at Bob Shelton Stadium. The Rebels have outscored their playoff opposition 173-89, winning by an average margin of 21 points. And Hayes comes out of District 26 6A that has the likes of Westlake still in play this afternoon in Class 5 or 6A Division 1 against North Shore and Lake Travis, who were ousted early in the playoffs this year, but got to the state semifinal a year ago and actually has a recent state championship in the 6A classification.
And yeah, for Buddha Hayes coming out of that district here in Region 4, that's not a district that should be taken lightly, like you said, Westlake and Lake Travis, but it's not rare that you see a third seed in the district still playing here in the state semifinals.
Time now to go down to the field for the national anthem here from McLean Stadium in Central Texas.
And you're facing a Katy football, and I think we should be excited for this one. It's a
at McLean Stadium in Waco. Winds blowing out of the east-northeast at 9 miles per hour, 52% humidity under cloudy skies, but it's absolutely gorgeous.
Hey, Michael, it's a beautiful day for football, and I think we should be excited for this one. It's a matchup that the winner goes on to the state championship to play either Denton or Cedar Hill, and that game's going on right now.
Last we checked into the first quarter, Geyer had a 10-7 lead over Cedar Hill. AT&T Stadium next Saturday for the 6A finals. Winner of this one will get either Cedar Hill or Geyer, and that's the 1 p.m. game next Saturday afternoon. Nemanja Lazic has the ball teed up at the 40-yard line. Bryant Lewis and Chris Bruce are back deep to receive. Hope you have your popcorn and beverages ready. Off we go. High pooch kick by Lazic, and it bounces, picked up by Bruce, and the Rebels will start outside of the 25-yard line. They'll be led out by Duran Hill, accounted for 285 of the Rebels' 423 yards in their win in the Region 4 championship game over Vandergrift. He threw for 173 yards and 3 touchdowns, while rushing for 112 yards and a couple of TDs.
Michael, my player to watch this afternoon for the Buddha Hayes Rebels is going to be the sophomore running back Chris Bruce, who plays both ways, offense and defense, but also caught 3 passes for 81 yards and 2 touchdowns last week for the Rebels.
Out of the pistol. Run on first down. Katy has it well scouted. A gain of 1 as Quincy Jackson got the carry. He had 45 yards on the ground last week. 67th carry of the year. Had a playoff best 125 yards with a touchdown against Taft in the 3rd round.
Second down.
So Jackson picks up a yard. It's 2nd down and 9. Hill looks to throw, slings it complete. Open man is Michael Bodwin III. It's going to be right at the first down marker as he is tackled by Hamilton McMartin.
I think it's going to be important here for the Rebels on this first series to start picking up a couple first downs and stay ahead of the chains and keep the ball moving. And you're facing a Katy defense only giving up just over 12 points a game, and you have to score early if you're Buda Hayes.
Hill engineered a 99-yard drive that culminated in a 28-yard touchdown to sophomore Chris Bruce, which gave the Rebels a 24-10 lead last week in their 38-10 victory over Vandegrift. Hill on the keeper, immediately wrapped up by Cohen Dearman, the nose tackle, 39th tackle of the season and his 17th for the playoffs.
That brings up a 2nd down.
And here on a 2nd down and long situation, I think Buda Hayes, if you want to, you can throw the football, you can run it with Durand Hill, but they run that slot tee out of the pistol, which you don't see too often. A lot of teams run it under center like Liberty Hill does, but they run it out of the pistol, which makes it easier to throw the football coming out of that formation.
Hill is a dual-threat quarterback and a top athlete, according to his head coach, Les Goad, who runs this offense with such precision. Hill to throw, and he's going to be sacked by Kanya. Ty Kanya came surging through the line from his linebacker spot, picking up his 3rd.5 sack of the season. It's a loss back inside the 30.
And Mike, when we talk about how dangerous this Katy defense is, they come in on the blitz, they're good in coverage, they're just a stout defense all around. Like we said, only averaging just over 12 points a game, and this is a Katy defense historically that's always good.
Katy had 10 sacks against Lamar, 7 sacks against Shadow Creek, only 1 sack last week against Clear Falls. And they get an early one against Durand Hill here in the first quarter of this state semifinal. 3rd down and 18. 4 receivers in the lineup for Hayes. Hill out of the pocket, launches one up the sideline. It's knocked away. Pass was intended for Will Agnew. Hunter Washington in coverage for the Tigers.
And Hunter Washington, one of the more highly touted recruits in the state and the country, playing defensive back for the Katy Tigers. Good coverage there by Agnew. He wanted a flag, did Will Agnew, the senior receiver, didn't get one, and just excellent coverage by Washington.
Out comes the punting unit. Thomas Scroven, the senior, will punt it to Katy. After the Tigers yield 1 first down, able to shut down the Rebel offense. Scroven delivers a beautiful kick. Oh, wow, what a punt. Ronnie Schneider from the 24. To the outside, 35, Schneider almost to midfield. Coming up to make the tackle, Philip Garcia, an excellent return to the 49-yard line.
Yeah, and you said it, that was a beautiful punt by the punter there for Buda Hayes, and just an excellent return there for Katy, and now they're starting just a couple yards shy of midfield. Actually looks like the 49, so a yard shy of midfield, and we can see the Katy offense first, and I'm excited.
9:17 left here, first quarter, and the Katy offense out for the first time. Caleb Koger, the sophomore quarterback, just inside Katy territory. And first run of the day for Jalen Davis, and he's got a first down already inside the Hayes 40-yard line. 12 yards for Jalen Davis, and the first quick first down for the Tiger offense.
And that's the senior running back, Jalen Davis. The Davis brothers, you know, the double-headed monster in the backfield for Katy. Jalen last week ran for 120 yards and 3 touchdowns on 21 carries. And then Seth, the sophomore, last week, 157 yards and 1 touchdown. Yeah,
they've combined for 797 yards and 8 touchdowns here in the postseason. 1st and 10 Katy from the Rebel 39. Here's Jalen again. 30. Jalen Davis in 2 plays. Scores for the Tigers. Touchdown.
Jalen Davis in for a Katy Tiger touchdown.
Yeah, Michael, that's the thing about that Katy offense, and they're so dangerous. They can score throwing the ball, but especially running the ball, running that smash mouth power football, you know, the pro style offense, and Jalen Davis just a long touchdown run to get Katy on the board first.
The 6th touchdown of these playoffs for the senior Jalen Davis, his 22nd of the year. And Nemanja Lazic out for the extra point. 3:25 gone by first quarter. Katy takes 2 plays after holding Hayes, and they lead it 7-0.
There's always a way to make joy, America, so it's time to get to it. And with the Ford Built for the Holidays sales event, we're here to help. We're giving you the best deals of the season on the adventure-ready Ford Ranger and the Built Ford Tough Ford F-150 to help you make some extra joy this year. Because this season will be as bright as ever. Ford, built for the holidays. Now, get $11,245 total savings on F-150, plus an extra $1,000 trade assist cash. See your best in Texas Ford dealer.
100 years ago, Texas UIL football began to define competitive spirit and tradition. And from that moment, we changed how the game was played. Our gridirons shaped legends. Our leaders went on to bring home...
Drive summary presented by the City of Katy. A 39-yard touchdown run by Jalen Davis. 2 plays, 51 yards, 42 seconds. The Katy Tigers have an early 7-0 lead with 8:35 to play in quarter number 1. Fuller Shirts to kick it off for the Tigers. Deep downfield, it bounces. Lewis up the sideline, tackled out of bounds at the 28-yard line.
On the return. Brought down by Katy.
Well, head coach Les Go told us earlier this week that for his keys for this offense were to establish first downs, mix things up, and try to catch the Katy defense off guard. They were able to get a first down, but then Katy bowed up after that first down on their first possession.
Yeah, there's a lot of time left, obviously, this football game. You know, only a couple minutes into the first quarter. I think it's going to be important for the Rebels here to not get in their heads too much.
Bodwin right to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Talking with Gary Joseph this week, he told us on Thursday that with an offense like Hayes, the slot T that they run, his defense must be gap sound today. There will be more pressure on the corners and safeties, and while the scout team did as good of a job as they could replicating the Rebel offense, Joseph stressed the importance of watching as much video as the defense could to learn the tendencies of this Rebel offense.
Yeah, this is an offense type that the Katy defense is not very familiar with.
Hill in trouble, just barely got past the line of scrimmage. It's a 1-yard gain on second down.
On the keeper.
Yeah, it seems that Katy plays in district the likes of, you know, Morton Ranch and Tompkins, obviously with Jalen Milrow and company, and all the teams in that district. You know, these, especially in the city of Houston, you don't really see too many slot T type teams that Katy's going to play. They're going to play those spread teams, maybe a couple of occasionally, you know, the pro style offenses. But I don't think Katy's seen a slot T team in who knows when.
I don't know if Gary Joseph told us the last time he did see a team that ran the slot T. Third down for Hayes. Last week, Clear Falls were able to convert 33% of their third downs against the Tiger defense. Wide open, great play. It's going to be good enough to get at least 8 yards, but not enough. Josh Rodriguez, the receiving end of that Durham Hill pass, out to the 37, gain of 7. But I'm not sure if Hayes wants to roll the dice here.
Yeah, if your head coach Les Go, it comes down to how confident are you in your offense against a stout Katy defense, and if you don't get it, how confident are you in your defense that they're going to be able to get out and make a stop and prevent Katy from going up by 2 possessions.
It is 4th down for Hayes from their own 37. They're going to go for it. Hill underneath. He's got a first down as he's able to connect with Chris Bruce. The sophomore has enough for a first down at the 39, a hookup of 2 yards.
And yeah, for the sophomore Chris Bruce, those are veteran hands that he showed on that last play. I mean, he was hit, as you see on the replay, just immediately by the defender. And the guy's job to hang on to that ball and, you know, keep the first down and keep the drive going for Buda Hayes.
Hill had a playoff high 182 yards versus Johnson. Playoff high 3 touchdown passes last week against Vandergrift and 184 yards on the ground against Vista Ridge in the rematch from week 1. Quincy Jackson is tackled for a 3-yard loss back at the 36.
And yeah, for Jackson, they're running that, you know, the jet sweep type play out of their slot T offense. And, you know, they're running horizontally, and I think they need to try to go more vertical, obviously, if they're going to try to run it against this Katy defense that just has so much speed and power coming off the edge.
Second down 13, 5:40 to play, quarter number one, 7-0 Tigers. Keeper for Hill, and he is buried right at the line of scrimmage.
Number 46.
Coming in to make the tackle, Jaden Maronin. Had 9 tackles and the team's only sack in the win last week over Clear Falls. He's going back and forth with Dalton Johnson for the team high in tackles. He had it going into last week. Johnson overtook him with his 12 touchdown effort, or 12 tackle effort last week in the victory in the Region 3 final over Clear Falls. Here comes another third down. It is third down and 13. So far, Hayes 0 for 2 on third down conversions. On the misdirection, double misdirection, then a pass back to Hill, and he loses the football. Ty Kanya looks like he may have recovered, and he comes away with it. Offensive coordinator Aaron Postert reached into his bag of tricks. Katy were not fooled and actually get a takeaway.
Yeah, Michael, we tried to see him run the double, maybe the triple reverse. They pitched it a couple times, and Katy, by the time they got done finally pitching it and they're ready for Hill to throw, once he finally got the football back, Katy was right there in his face, and they got the strip sack.
That is the ninth, or excuse me, that Katy's now +9. That is their 21st takeaway. And they begin deep in Hayes territory from the 28-yard line. Quick pass is complete, far side, Fuller Shirts near first down.
Pass complete to number 83, Fuller Shirts.
Fuller Shirts was held without a catch after scoring touchdowns in both the Lamar and Shadow Creek playoff games. Stepped out of bounds after a reception of 7 yards. The sophomore Caleb Koger is thrown for over 1,400 yards, 22 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions this season. Handoff, barreling straight ahead, close to the first down marker. Jalen Davis, and a late flag is tossed.
Flags on the flag.
Our referee this afternoon is Bill Theodore, his crew coming from the Fort Worth chapter of officials. In last week's victory over Clear Falls, there was not a single penalty on either the Tigers or the Knights.
Yeah, that's impressive. I mean, we have our first penalty here early, and this will be an interesting call on second down and 3.
Unsportsmanlike conduct has been called on Hayes. That was a theme for Shadow Creek a couple of weeks ago. They actually had a player tossed in the Region 3 semifinal, and a couple of players warned that if they got a second unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, they would be tossed. So it's a 10-yard penalty on Hayes. Katy has first down and goal from the 9, and they start early.
False start on the offense on the 41. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
I believe they called that on the tight end Emilio Silva, playing in the place of the injured Fernando Garza, who will be playing college football at A&M. Garza was lost in the Dickinson game in a season-ending injury. First and goal from the 14. On the pitch, ball on the turf. Jalen Davis does enough to recover. Takes a hit on the ground from Tyson Hatnot. And after the unsportsmanlike penalty called on Hayes, the Tigers have gone nothing but backwards. It'll be second and goal from back at the 26.
Yeah, that's a heads-up play by the running back Davis there. Instead of trying to pick it up and run with it, do anything too extra, you know, maybe turn it over again, or turn it over for the first time. Instead, he just falls on it. It's probably a wise play.
Jalen rushed for 120 yards and scored a pair of touchdowns in the win last week in the Region 3 final over Clear Falls. He has scored at least 1 touchdown in every game this season. Koger to the outside, complete. Taylor Salisbury makes one man miss and is tackled out of bounds, with flags flying near the point of the tackle.
Flags on the play.
Yeah, they threw the flag right where the catch was made by the receiver, and I like the job by Koger there on the bootleg to just fake out the whole defense and run into the far side of the field and complete the pass.
We also have a player down for Hayes. We'll see if they'll sort out the penalty and whether we'll need to step aside. We'll have to hear from Bill Theodore first. Charles Croft is the injured Rebel, and he's able to walk off under his own power.
57, Cole Rogers. Illegal block in the back on the offense, number 41. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. It remains second down.
Second down, back at the 24 after Emilio Silva, who got called for a false start and now called for an illegal block in the back. Set Katy up, second and goal from the 24.
And that's an unusual couple of penalties there for Katy. They're such a disciplined and well-coached team that typically you don't see too many penalties on the Tiger, let alone on the offense.
3:20 to play, first quarter. 7-0 Tigers. Here's Jalen Davis. Surging through tackles down to the 11-yard line.
Number 28, Jalen Davis on the carry. Tackle made on the play by number 68.
He'll give him 13. He's already got 60 on 4 rushes, but it brings up the first third down of the afternoon for the Tigers, who are converting at 47.8% here in the playoffs. Be third and goal from the 12. Jalen has 2 3-touchdown games this season, 6 2-touchdown games. And they'll keep it on the ground. Here's Seth Davis. Now he's going to throw to the end zone. Nick Anderson, touchdown. How about that from offensive coordinator Gerald Brixey?
Touchdown to number 4.
And we see Hayes on their last drive, and they turn it over. They try the trickery, and Katy says, I see what you can do, and I can do it better. And they pull out their bag of tricks as well, and they score on it.
Lacey will attempt the extra point.
5th touchdown of the season receiving for Mr. Anderson. Continuing the lineage of Andersons at Katy High School, Rodney Ryder and the junior Nick Anderson. Nick has his 5th of the season as Nemanja Lazic puts the Katy Tigers up by 14 with 2:39 to play. Opening quarter here in this Class 6A Division II state semifinal on Texan Live.
100 years ago, Texas UIL football began to define competitive spirit and tradition. And from that moment, we changed how the game was played. Our gridirons shaped legends. Our leaders went on to bring home national championships and Hall of Fame honors, shattering records, some still standing today. Texas is high school football. Deeply rooted in all generations, Fox Sports Southwest and the UIL proudly celebrate 100 years of Texas high school football. Presented by Jack in the Box.
Let's get to it, America. Because joy doesn't just happen, you make it happen. And during the Ford Built for the Holidays sales event, we're helping you make even more joy. Come get the best deals of the season with offers on select Ford SUVs and Ford Fusion. Everything you need to make the holidays brighter than ever. That's how we're making joy this season. How will you? Now get $13,955 in savings on Expedition or 0 for 72 plus $2,500 on Explorer at your Texas Ford dealer.
This drive summary is brought to you by Academy. 12-yard touchdown pass, Seth Davis to Nick Anderson. 28-yard drive in 7 plays, 2:12 off the clock. 14-0 Tigers with 2:39 to play. Here in quarter number 1. Lazic with a high pooch kick. And it's well covered downfield by the Tigers on special teams after Nate Green made the catch.
It will be first and 10 for the
So the Tigers up in front got the takeaway. So all things going right. And even though things went sort of backwards after they got that unsportsmanlike penalty called on Hayes, they were able to still get into the end zone.
And that's just a testament to how well coached and how talented this Katy team is. And I think if you're Buda Hayes coming out on this next drive, you obviously can't turn it over again, but I think you got to get something going in a hurry if you're the offense for the Rebels.
Back to work from the 26. Hill straight up the seam to Michael Bodwin the third to the 30.
Hit that like button, y'all.
number 43, Dalton Johnson on the tackle.
Call that a gain of 5, and I like that job to stay ahead of the chains by the Rebels there and just complete a short pass over the middle and just something simple to get your offense going on this drive.
Let's Go told us that Bodwin is such a versatile player that can do a lot of things. He runs a lot of sweeps. He's involved in the passing game, and he's a great lead blocker. He now has 29 catches on the season. Now he's going to run to the outside, shaking tackles. He picks up a first down for the Rebels.
Bowden on the carry.
to the 47-yard line. Check it, the 37-yard line, 7 yards and a first down.
That moves the chains. It's a Rebel first down.
Yeah, it was all set up by that gain of 5 on the first play of the drive where they ran a little short pass over the middle to Bodwin, and they set themselves up for a first and 10 here following the 2nd and 5. They were able to just run it and do anything you want with your offense on a 5 yards to go situation.
Senior came in with 289 yards on the ground and 3 touchdowns. That pass off target from the senior Duran Hill. Hill had 3 touchdown games passing and 3 2-touchdown games rushing, with touchdowns in every game. 523 yards coming in here in the playoffs, 8 touchdowns, nearly 500 yards on the ground, half a dozen touchdowns.
Yeah, Hill is just a dynamic quarterback, can run and throw. It's a dual threat, as they call it. And I think we're going to see a lot more of him if you're Buda Hayes, if you want to try to get back in this game. I know there's a lot of football left to be played, but I think Hill's going to try to take over for this Rebel offense.
They've outscored their opposition in the postseason 173-89, averaging over 43 points a game. And Hill's in trouble. Tracked down, ball ripped out by Shepard Bowling, and Cal Varner recovers for the Tigers. The second takeaway by the Tiger defense today. What a play by Shepard Bowling.
And Katy brought the house. They brought a couple extra linebackers, looked like on the blitz, and Hill tried to roll out to that far side of the field and was just hit from behind. Lost the football.
And this will be the second straight possession for the Katy offense that begins deep in Rebels territory. 1:32 the time remaining first quarter, and the Tigers will start from the Rebel 25. Their last possession started on the Rebel 28. Single back in the backfield as Caleb Koger takes the snap and hands it off to Seth Davis. To the outside, Davis down the sideline. They'll say he stepped out of bounds at the 14, picking up 13 yards on first down.
Stepped out of bounds, but that will be good for a first down.
And Mike, we have a score updated at halftime. Cedar Hill leads Denton Guyer 21-10.
Cedar Hill and Katy met 3 times from 2012 to 2014 for the state championship. Katy won it in 2012, then Cedar Hill won the next 2. That one is 11-yard carry by Seth Davis from the 25 to the 14. Koger off the play fake. Wide open. Taylor Salisbury chopped down at the 2-yard line.
To Salisbury, number 18.
Nate Green made the tackle. Had 81 tackles coming in for the Hayes defense. It's going to be first and goal. They mark it at the 1 on a 13-yard pass play. Koger was 4 of 8 last week. He's begun his afternoon 3 for 3. And that is the second catch for Taylor Salisbury. Seth Davis walks in. 3 touchdowns for the Tiger offense here in the first quarter. 4th touchdown for the sophomore here in the postseason, and the 15th for his sophomore campaign.
And Katy, like we talked about, just a well-oiled machine running their offense the way that they do. I mean, they haven't really slowed down the pace at all or changed anything up, done anything too fancy, anything outside of the usual that they always do. They're just running that pro-style offense to perfection, and now they're up to by 20, looking to make it 21.
Lozic just splits the uprights and gets the job done. 46 seconds to go, and it's been all Katy Tigers, and they've converted on both Hayes fumbles and cashed them in for 14 points.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the key for Katy is forcing turnovers on defense, or at least getting the stops and getting the football back to their offense, and just just running the ball like they do with the Davis brothers. And if they can do what they've done here in the first quarters, they're almost done with the first, I think they should be well on their way to Arlington.
City of Katy drive summary, a 1-yard touchdown run by Seth Davis. 3 plays, 25 yards, just 56 seconds after cashing in on the second Hayes fumble of the afternoon. 46 seconds remaining here in quarter number 1, and the Katy Tigers have a 21-0 lead against the Hayes Rebels. We have an update from down at Legacy Stadium in Katy. First quarter, the Westlake Chaparrals 10, the North Shore Mustangs nothing.
That's surprising. I mean, I saw Westlake last week, and Westlake is a very talented program. North Shore, though, just a different animal. They won the 2 last state championships. I think that is going to be a great game as well.
Rematch of the 2015 state final. Kickoff in the end zone, taking a knee. Wisely so. Rebels will take it at the 25-yard line. There is a flag down, possibly for offsides on the kickoff. You really go back when you talk about the Katy Tigers. That loss to Tompkins, which was a 5-point loss, their only loss of the season, kept them away from the district championship, and they've been on some sort of tear after that loss.
And, Michael, coming into the year, a lot of people were saying that Tompkins, probably could win the district. I mean, they lost to Atascocita in the 3rd round last year, did the Tompkins Falcons, and they almost beat Katy last year in the regular season. A lot of people were saying, Tompkins could come in this year and make some noise, and they did. They beat Katy and won the district championship. But Katy's still playing here in January, and I think that's a testament to Coach Joseph and just how well he coaches his squad coming after a loss like that.
Indeed. Straight ahead on the run. And right back to the line of scrimmage. So far, this running game has yet to be really established for the Hayes Rebels. Josh Rodriguez got the carry. His 68th of the season, had 377 yards rushing and a pair of touchdowns coming into this state semifinal. But the Katy Tigers up front had it well scouted. That could have been the last play of this first quarter, 15 seconds and counting, as the Rebels get to the line of scrimmage. Will they run another play? Hill off the play fake. Running for his life, surges ahead, picks up positive yardage as Cohen Dearman wrestled him down, and that is the end of the first quarter. With the score, the Katy Tigers 21, the Hayes Rebels nothing. Texan Live's coverage of the Class 6A Division II state semifinal from McLean Stadium here in Waco will continue in just a moment.
Apply to the university that offers 98 unique degree plans. The university where 99% of students receive financial assistance. The university where you belong. Apply to Texas A&M University Kingsville today.
Let's get to it, America, because joy doesn't just happen. You make it happen. And during the Ford Built for the Holidays sales event, we're helping you make even more joy. Come get the best deals of the season with offers on select Ford SUVs and Ford Fusion. Everything you need to make the holidays brighter than ever. That's how we're making joy this season. How will you? Now get $13,955 in savings on Expedition or 0 for 72 plus $2,500 on Explorer at your Texas Ford dealer.
100 years ago, Texas UIL football began to define competitive spirit and tradition. And from that moment, we changed how the game was played. Our gridirons-shaped legends. Our leaders went on to bring home national championships and Hall of Fame honors, shattering records, some still standing today. Texas is high school football. Deeply rooted in all generations. Fox Sports Southwest and the UIL proudly celebrate 100 years of Texas.
Start of the second quarter, 3rd down and 8 for Hayes. Pass complete, Bodwin. But he's well short of the first down as he's immediately gobbled up by Shepard Bowling at the 37-yard line. 7 yards on the pass play, but it'll set up a 4th down here for Hayes. And I think they're going to send the punt team out. This is a lot different than 4th and 1 or 4th and 2. And do you really want Katy to start another possession in your own half of the field?
I think you probably don't. For Hill, I'd like to see him maybe throw the ball a little bit further down the field on those 3rd down and long situations. You don't want to set yourself up with a 4th down situation where here you have to either punt or go for it. Looks like they're going for it.
Might Hill just take a few more steps back and punt the ball away? No, they're going to go for it. The pass is too tall, and it's going to be a turnover on downs. Hill was targeting Will Agnew on the play, and for the 3rd straight possession, the Katy Tigers will start on the plus side of midfield.
Their defense is just playing absolutely locked down. I mean, they're bringing linebackers in on the blitz. They're getting the sacks. They're getting the takeaways via the fumbles. And then they're in the secondary. They're just playing structurally sound and forcing incompletions. And they gave out a couple yards on that 3rd down, and I believe it was 13. They gave up a game about 7. Bend but don't break, and then force a turnover on 4th down.
From the 37-yard line. Hand off, the quick hitter to the fullback, Aiden McKinney. McKinney will stride down lowering his shoulder to the 32, scooping up 5 yards on the play.
Number 8.
Just the 9th carry of the season. McKinney got his first rushing touchdown
Second down.
against Lamar and his first receiving touchdown against Shadow Creek in these playoffs.
And I like that Katy still uses the fullback. It's a bit of an outdated position, but Katy uses it, well, like they do in their pro-style offense.
Oh, they love it. And they'll throw to him, too. That's Caleb Koger. Hands it off to Seth Davis. Immediately wrapped up by Aiden Hunt.
On the carry, Seth Davis.
Well, Les Goad explained to us on Thursday that his defense today must hold their ground and force Katy to throw to win. That's a lot easier said than done.
Yeah, and so far Katy's just running the ball at will, but here on 3rd down and 5, you got to think that they could potentially run, a toss play if they wanted to, run it up the gut. They could do anything they want. I mean, 5 yards to go is not very long. I'd like to see them put the ball in the air, though, here.
Last week, Katy converted over 71% of their 3rd downs against Clear Falls. 3rd and 5, 2 minutes gone by here in the 2nd quarter. Straight drop back, Koger, pump fake, and he finds Aiden McKinney at the 25-yard line.
Nick Anderson. And that's a first down.
Check that, Nick Anderson.
Number 27.
From up here, that 4 looked like an 8.
And number 43, Jake Lopez.
It's a gain of 7 and a first down.
I like the job by Anderson there of finding the soft spot in that zone defense, and the Rebels ran. He just sat down in between the linebacker, and I believe it was the safety or the corner, one of the defensive backs, and just found a hole and caught the ball and picked up the first.
2nd catch already for Nick Anderson. Had the touchdown catch thrown to him by Seth Davis back in the 1st quarter from 12 yards out. 1st and 10. Seth Davis finds a hole left side and runs it down to the 20.
The carry, that is Seth Davis.
Marcus Taylor comes in to make the tackle. Taylor made perhaps the play of the game last week when he picked off Vandergrift quarterback Ryan back at the goal line in the 3rd quarter.
2nd down.
Made 4 tackles in the game as well.
Yeah, that's a really good Vandergrift team that Buda Hayes beat pretty good last week, and I think Buda Hayes, they're in danger here of going down by 4 possessions. I think they got to get a stop here.
Stretch play. Seth Davis looking for blocks to develop. Will have a first down to the 14.
Davis on the carry.
Making the tackle, Corey Vester.
Tackle on the play by number 6.
He was the last one to get up off that play. Down to the 14, gain of 6.
And yeah, for Vester, the outside linebacker, the senior for the Rebels on that play, came off of his blocker and just made a tackle on Davis. That's not an easy guy to tackle if you're the defense for Buda Hayes.
The Rebels gave up a playoff low 200 yards to Vandergrift in the Region 4 championship game last Saturday. Pitch to the other side. Seth Davis inside the 10, surging down to the goal line. Looks like he'll be stopped short. Right at the 1-yard line.
19 on the tackle, Nate Green.
Nate Green saves the touchdown, but it could just be a matter of time. Katy so far perfect offensively. 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns, and they're knocking on the door in this their 4th possession of this state semifinal. They go with the power I backfield. Davis, touchdown. Easy as you like here in Waco.
And, 1st and goal from the 1, obviously they think they're going to run it. They run the power I formation like you said. They line up Ibarra and tied into the right side, and you think they're going to run the power to that side of the field. Instead they just run it right up the gut, and Davis walks in.
Placing in for the point after attempt.
37 yards on 7 plays. And the Katy Tigers are quickly taking the suspense out of this one. 28-0.
The kick is good.
4:32 gone by here in the 2nd quarter. The Katy Tigers having a good time so far here at Baylor University and McLean Stadium on Texan Live.
100 years ago, Texas UIL football began to define competitive spirit and tradition. And from that moment, we changed how the game is played. Our gridirons shaped legends. Our leaders went on to bring home national championships and Hall of Fame honors, shattering records, some still standing today. Texas is high school football. deeply rooted in all generations. Fox Sports Southwest and the UIL proudly celebrate 100 years of Texas high school football. Presented by Jack in the Box.
There's always a way to make joy America, so it's time to get to it. And with the Ford Built for the Holidays sales event, we're here to help. We're giving you the best deals of the season on the adventure-ready Ford Ranger and the Built Ford Tough Ford F-150 to help you make some extra joy this year. Because this season will be as bright as ever. Ford, built for the holidays. Now, get $11,245 total savings on F-150, plus an extra $1,000 trade assist cash. See your best in Texas Ford dealer.
Fuller shirts to kick it off. Lewis lets it bounce in the end zone. City of Katy drives summary, a 1-yard touchdown run by Seth Davis, his second rushing touchdown of the afternoon, his third overall touchdown of this first half. A 7-play, 37-yard drive taking 3:45 off the second quarter clock with 7:28 to go here in the second quarter. 28-0 Tigers.
You know, this Rebel offense is going to take the field down by 28, and I think they've been running it a lot. I think you got to start maybe trying to put the ball in the air here and try to get at least a couple points, maybe a touchdown or two before halftime, and go into the locker room something positive to talk about.
Their defense has to stop the Tigers too. Perfect 4 for 4 on the sweep. Out to the 26-yard line, Bodwin.
Bowden on the carry. 13 on the tackle. Snyder. Second down.
Well, Gary Joseph told us on Thursday that this team can run the ball all over the place. Just have to be gap sound. A lot of people you talk to when you ask them how to defend the slot T, they just simply say tackle everybody. You never know who's going to have the ball, so just tackle everybody. Hill up the seam, incomplete. Trying to target Agnew again. Jaden Rodriguez had the coverage. The Katy defense that gave up 301 yards to Clear Falls in the Region 3 championship game last week. It was the second most yards given up to an opponent this season. Cy Woods in option offense had 349 against the Tigers, but that was way back in week 2. And they still won that game, 51-14 Clear Falls last week after giving up over 300 yards on defense. Here's another third down after that last pass by Hill fell incomplete. He's going to try again. Now he's got to scramble, and he's tackled from behind by Cal Varner. It's a 2-yard pickup on the play to the 27, and I think Hayes will now send the punt team out.
Yeah, you probably don't want to go for it, pin back inside your own 30, and we go back to Gary Joseph talking about wanting to be gap sound against a slot T offense. And that's the difference, like you said, a lot of teams just say when you're defending the slot T, just tackle everybody. For Gary Joseph, you want to be gap sound and just have guys waiting for Hill when he tries to tuck and run on that, maybe the quarterback draw, or if it's a pass play, he tries to run with it. But there's a reason Gary Joseph's only lost 22 games since 2004.
Antonio Silva and Ronnie Schneider are back deep to receive. Another excellent punt by Scroven, taken by Silva, and he's going backwards, and he's going to lose yardage.
82 takes the kick. Brought down on the play by number 27.
A 48-yard kick and a loss of 14 on the return as Marcus Taylor came down to make the tackle on Antonio Silva.
Yeah, for Silva there, I mean, I know it's tough. You want to try to get the guy that gets the run back and maybe get a lot of yards, or even to run it back for a touchdown, something like that. But in that situation, I think if you have blockers, or don't have any blockers out in front, you got a couple rebels coming at you. I think you probably just got to call for a fair catch or just take it and run forward.
Maybe Silva just wanted to make it a little more difficult on this Katy offense. They're 4 for 4 since the start of this one here at McLean Stadium. Jalen Davis will spin out near the 20-yard line. Pickup of maybe 3-4 yards on the play. When we asked Gary Joseph what his keys were in order to get back to the state championship game for the first time since 2015, he told us that they really weren't much different than last week. Just don't let Hayes have the ball, score, move and take care of the football, and do a great job of blocking. So far, a job well done.
Absolutely. I think they're doing a great job controlling the clock right now. I mean, we're down to 5:10 to go here in the first half, and they're all the way back to the 20-yard line just running it at will.
Right up the middle. Seth Davis across midfield and striding down the sideline where he is forced out by Chris Bruce. What a run by Seth Davis, who's had quite an afternoon so far here in the first half in this 6A Division II state semifinal.
And yeah, they were picking up, a couple yards here and there to start the drive there, and then you have the big run by Davis that, probably not going to eat up as much of the clock now, but I'm sure they'll take the big play all day long.
2 touchdown runs, a touchdown pass. That a 39-yard scamper, giving him 75 yards on 7 carries here in the first half. Clock is stopped with inside 5 minutes to go in quarter number 2. 28-0 Katy. Koger off play action, rolls to his right, throws deep for Fuller Shirts, and there's a flag. A couple of them as Nate Green got to the receiver quite a bit before the ball did.
And yeah, Michael, I think it might be a little bit of an understatement. You watch the replay here, it looks like he just took him out before the ball got there. Yeah, and that's
just smashed him.
It's a blatant penalty.
Well, this Tiger offense.
Pass interference on the defense, number 19. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. It's an automatic first
This
down.
Tiger offense, like they have against a lot of opponents this year, have their opponent's defense just discombobulated. 15 yards on the pass interference call on Hayes. That is their second penalty of the afternoon. Moves the ball down to the Rebel 30.
First and 10 for the Tigers.
Make it the 27-yard line after the 15-yard penalty. But the Hayes defense is all out of sorts. So they go back on the ground with Seth Davis, and he's breaking tackles inside the 10 and down to the 5 he goes. 22 yards for the sophomore.
Tackle on the play by Tyson.
Katy's mixing it up offensively. We see him have a couple big runs on this drive. But before this last big run that you're watching on your screen now, they go with the big pass play down the field, get the pass interference, get 15 free yards. Now they've got themselves after the big run, a first and goal from about the 6.
Can Katy make it a perfect 5 for 5 from an offensive standpoint here in the first half of this 6A Division II state semifinal? Smith is in at the fullback. Koger, in zone, touchdown Smith, his second in consecutive weeks.
That pass completes to number 26, Isaiah Smith. That is a Katy Tiger touchdown.
Yeah, they love to run that bootleg with Caleb Koger, and he's a sophomore quarterback, but the way he runs that bootleg like the pro-style teams do in the NFL or even in college, and he runs it like he's a senior that's been starting for a couple of years on this Tiger offense.
Smith had a 7-yard touchdown catch in the Region 3 championship game last week. Koger's 5 for 5, and he tosses his first touchdown of the afternoon to the fullback Isaiah Smith. 8 minutes gone here, second quarter. All Katy, 35-0 here on Texan Live.
100 years ago, Texas UIL football began to define competitive spirit and tradition. And from that moment, we changed how the game is played. Our gridirons-shaped legends. Our leaders went on to bring home national championships and Hall of Fame honors, shattering records, some still standing today. Texas is high school football. Deeply rooted in all generations, Fox Sports Southwest and the UIL proudly celebrate 100 years of Texas high school football. Presented by Jack in the Box.
Download the free Fox Sports Southwest Football Friday app. Get live high school scores from across the state. Check out team schedules and show your school spirit live online. Download the best high school football app in Texas. Search Football Friday. Friday high school football isn't over till you watch High School Scoreboard live. Final scores, the big plays from gridiron games across the state.
Be a part of the most watched high school football show in Texas.
Friday night on Fox Sports Southwest.
Fuller Shirts kick this one out of the back of the end zone. 4 minutes to go. Hayes trailing 35-0. Academy drive summary, a 6-yard touchdown pass. Caleb Koger to Isaiah Smith. 5 plays, 84 yards, a $152. 35-0 Katy. Very anticlimactic day so far here at Baylor.
And yeah, we got another, this one a bit closer up in Dallas. Cedar Hill and Denton Guyer was, it was 21-10 at halftime, and Cedar Hill driving, looking to extend their lead over the Guyer Wildcats and trying to get back to making a rematch of a couple years ago from State, Katy and Cedar Hill.
From the 25, Duran Hill slings it over the middle, complete. Bodwin to the 30.
It's second down.
Pass play of 5 yards. Down in Katy, Legacy Stadium, North Shore has cut the deficit to 3. Westlake still leads that one 10-7 in the 6A Division I state semifinal. Winner of that one will meet Southlake, Carroll, or Duncanville. They play tonight up north at 7 p.m. Clock moving with 3:25 to go. Hill on the handoff. Gives it off to Chris Bruce. And the Tigers right there. Shepard Bowling makes the tackle back at the original line of scrimmage for a loss of 5.
Yeah, Michael, I don't think I've seen Katy miss a tackle this whole afternoon. That's just a testament to how structurally sound they are defensively, how well coached they are. I mean, this is a Katy team that they don't miss many tackles if they miss anything.
3rd down and 10. The Rebels are 0 for 5 on 3rd downs so far here in the first half. It's been tough sledding for the Hayes offense today. Hill gaining some more room, now tucks and runs. And a good open field tackle by Moronin at the 31-yard line.
Yeah, for Jaden Moronin there, I saw him across the play. He ran all the way from the other side of the formation to make that tackle, and had he not made that tackle, Hill might have picked up a first down. Instead, now it's going to be 4th and 3 or 4, and we'll see what Hill and this Rebel offense like to do here.
Dalton Johnson said after the game last week that it's been too long for the Tigers to get back to the state semifinals, and they just can't take it for granted. The 2017 team that lost to Lake Travis was so close, and now the opportunity is here 3 years later that this 2020 team just has to grab it. They'll go for it. Pass incomplete. Another turnover on downs. Hamilton McMartin knocked it away. Pass was intended for number 20, Zach Obara. And again, the Hayes offense is not doing much in terms of doing favors for the defense. This is another possession that's going to start on the plus side of midfield.
And yeah, Katy, I believe this is the 2nd or 3rd time they forced a turnover on downs. They're going to start here with just under 2 minutes to go, and starting from the 31, probably can run your offense. No need to rush anything here. Just run the football and keep your pace on the offense.
Katy's had drives on this half of the field that have started on the 28, 25, 37, and now 31-yard line. Jalen Davis looking to get a lead block from his quarterback, and he'll surge across the 25. Looking like he was going to get stopped around the 24. They will mark him down at the 25, a 6-yard carry on first down, giving Jalen 69 yards on 6 rushes so far here in the first half. Jalen Davis, huge hole. Touchdown.
Number 28, Jalen Davis on the carry and in for a Tiger touchdown.
That's touchdown number 2 for senior Jalen Davis. This a 25-yard gallop. And the Tigers have already broken 40 here in the first half of this state semifinal.
Michael, I was going to say before that play, I was going to say, I think for Katy, going to just keep running the ball, maybe not give Buda Hayes any time to try to do anything offensively, with less than a minute maybe to go in the first half. But I don't think Katy's worried about that. I think they're playing so well defensively and they're running the ball so well offensively. They're not worried about trying to slow down the pace of the game.
1:19 to go.
That point after attempt is good.
Well, Les Goat has rolled the dice quite a bit as the head coach of the Hayes Rebels today. And each time, his team has paid the price because this Katy offense has not yet had to punt. They have not yet had to kick a field goal, and they've started 4 possessions on the Hayes side of midfield. And because of turnover on downs, at least a pair of them. And the other 2 were fumbles.
Yeah, for Hayes, I don't even think they're making the wrong decision by trying to go for it, or I don't think they're making the wrong play calls. I think Katy's just playing so well defensively that they just, are forcing Hayes into just making, maybe some bad throws or just forcing incompletions and forcing the turnover on downs. And Katy's just running the ball so well that Hayes can't really stop him on defense.
City of Katy drive summary. A 25-yard touchdown run by Jalen Davis completes a 2-play, 31-yard drive, taking 34 seconds off the clock. 1:19 remaining until halftime. It is now 42-0 Tigers. Touchback. Coming up at halftime, we will have performances of the marching bands from both Katy and Hayes High Schools, which gets caught up on what has happened here in the first half, updates you on scores of other state semifinals across the state of Texas. That's coming up at halftime in the next 1:19. Well, if you're Hayes, you do get the ball to start the second half. It'd be pretty huge if they could score here in the last 1:19.
Absolutely. I mean, you don't want to go into the halftime break. I know you can't, erase the deficit. It's probably, next to impossible to come back, in the last couple of minutes of the first half. But at least get something on the board and go into the locker room, something positive, like we said earlier, to talk about going into the second half.
Hill wants to throw, slings it complete to the outside Lewis. First completion to Lewis, the team's leading receiver. That is his 40th catch of the year, 826 yards coming in and 9 touchdowns. He caught a pair of touchdowns, or excuse me, at least one touchdown last week, caught a pair for 55 yards in the win over Vandegrift. But after all that, he still lost a yard. I mean, his Katy defense has been smothering, to say the least.
Yeah, and Hayes still has all 3 timeouts left, but they're down to 45 seconds and counting, and they don't look like they're in any hurry, Michael.
Good positive play. Hill on the keeper. Dalton Johnson made the tackle at the 31. Johnson had a team-high 12 tackles last week. Hill on the rollout, tosses one deep, got a man open at the 40-yard line. Chris Bruce, the sophomore, had a big day last week. Comes up huge as he was left open down to the 23 with 8 seconds to go until halftime. 46-yard pass play.
Yeah, I think that's just what Hayes needed to get some confidence, and now they have a chance with 8 seconds left here in the first half to maybe score. If you want to get a couple yards, maybe try to kick a field goal or take a shot to the end zone, whatever you want to do, just to try to get on the board. I think they can do it now, at least attempt to. And just a good play by the Rebel offense and a nice throw by Hill.
Hayes calls their first timeout of the half. Rebels racked up 423 yards in their win over Vandegrift. Their playoff high is 478, which came in their rematch against Vista Ridge, who beat the Rebels back in week 1, 62-35. Hayes got their revenge 4 weeks ago with their dominating 38-7 victory over the Rangers in the bi-district round. But today, so far, it's just been a totally different animal. Keep in mind, we told you at the top, Hayes has had to deal with teams like Westlake playing for a chance to get back to the state championship game in Class 6A Division 1, taking on North Shore right now, and also Lake Travis. Lake Travis put 70 on Hayes earlier in the year, but they were upset in the first round of the postseason here in 2020. From the 23, 8 seconds to go. 42-0 Tigers. Hayes trying to get something going and get into the end zone. Pass to the end zone for Agnew, incomplete. Flag thrown. There is no time on the clock, but this is a defensive penalty which will give Hayes at least one more snap. Agnew was defended on the play by Carson Marshall, but it's going to be a 15-yard penalty, and Hayes will get another offensive snap out of it.
I believe Marshall, I think he had his back turned to
the
did. Quarterback. Yeah, he was facing the receiver, and that's the reason that they threw the flag. He hadn't even turned around trying to go for the ball, trying to bat it down or intercept it. The flag probably wouldn't have been thrown when we'd go into halftime.
Bill Theodore is the referee. Big assignment for his Fort Worth chapter. So now it's 1st and goal from the 8. One untimed down to conclude the first half. Hayes calls their second timeout. What would you like to see him call here? You know, you got a slot T offense that hasn't had success running the football, and Hill's attempted 2 straight passes, one semifinals in Region 3. On Katy's Carson Marshall. Hill wants to keep it himself, surging towards the goal line, and Katy's got him stuffed inches shy of the end zone.
Short of the goal.
Trot out of bounds, getting pulled by Seth Davis. About 2 minutes to go. In 6A Division I state semifinal at Legacy Stadium back in Katy, Westlake 17, North Shore. But if you're Hayes, I guess what you just need to do, leave it all out on the field and have no regrets, because you're probably not coming back from 42 down.
Absolutely. If you're Hayes, I think you need to come out and throw everything you have left in the bag of tricks, everything you have left in your pocket, just throw it out there and see what you can do.
I think I incorrectly stated that Hayes would get the ball to start the second half, but it's going to be Katy, and they get an excellent return by Seth Davis. And into Hayes territory, the Tigers will start from the 46. The Tigers had 247 yards of total offense in the first half, 190 on the ground. Koger threw for 57, perfect 5 for 5. Tigers with 13 first downs. They were 2 for 2 on third downs, 4 penalties, 35 yards. Hayes held to 70 yards total, -9 yards on the ground, 79 yards in the air, 5 first downs, 1 of 7 on third downs, 2 penalties for 24 yards, and 2 fumbles. They've also turned the ball over twice on downs. Katy, perfect offensively. Every possession ended with a touchdown. Play action, Koger on first down, softly out of reach to Taylor Salisbury. On the coverage, Tyson Hatnott. That's the first incomplete pass thrown by Koger today.
Like for Koger, they haven't really needed him to do all that much like they did last week, similar to the game against Clear Falls, where only threw 8 passes and completed 4 of them for 36 yards and a touchdown. But when they have needed him to throw it today, he's been perfect up until that last pass.
Second down and on the ground. Seth Davis, make it Jalen Davis. And he will trot out of bounds, getting pulled from behind by Will Agnew at the 24. 22 yards for Jalen Davis, and that puts him over the 100-yard mark. He had 89 in the first half on 8 carries. Younger brother Seth, 96 yards on 9 carries. Shadows forming overhead. Temperature at 46 degrees at game time. Here's a pitch to Seth Davis to the outside. Gets the edge, cuts inside the 10, and almost gets another touchdown as he's forced out of play at the 2. Zach Hobart in on the play defensively, second team all-district player a season ago for Hayes.
There's a flag down. It looks like it's going to be holding, I believe, against Katy. On typically when you run a pitch play, it's going to be holding on the outside.
Emilio Silva, that's his 3rd penalty this afternoon's game, and negates a 22-yard run. Katy falls back to the 29. So Seth will be given 5 on the play. That puts him over 100 yards. First and 15, Seth Davis charging to the outside. He'll score. Touchdown, Tigers. And the sophomore has a hat trick on the ground and a touchdown passing today. And Katy takes the opening possession of the second half and scores.
I think the question now becomes, if you're Katy, at what point do you want to maybe take your starters out, or how much more playing time do you want to give them going into next week? You don't want them to get rusty, but you also don't want to risk the injury. And just what a performance today by Katy, man.
43 seconds into quarter number 3. It takes no time at all for the Katy Tigers to score their 7th touchdown of the day. They are 7 for 7 on the offensive side of the ball, having a ton of fun here in Waco, up by 49.
Apply to the university that offers 98 unique degree plans. The university where 99% of students receive financial assistance. The university where you belong. Apply to Texas A&M University Kingsville today.
Download the free Fox Sports Southwest Football Friday app. Get live high school scores from across the state. Check out team schedules and show your school spirit live online. Download the best high school football app in Texas. Search Football Friday. Friday high school football isn't over till you watch High School Scoreboard live. Final scores, the big plays from gridiron games across the state.
Be a part of the most watched high school football show in Texas.
Friday night on Fox Sports Southwest.
Congratulations to the Cedar Hill Longhorns. 27-17 victory over Denton Guyer today. They have punched their ticket to the Class 6A Division II state championship game next Saturday at 1 AT&T Stadium. And they will face these Katy Tigers for the 4th time in the state final. First time since their trilogy from 2012 to 2014. Cedar Hill won 2 of those 3. Katy won the first one in 2012. Nate Green makes a fair catch on the kickoff. Hayes trailing by 49. Katy has scored 7 touchdowns on 7 offensive possessions today. And as we go through this second half, we'll begin to talk about matchup number 4 between the Tigers and the Longhorns.
Yeah, Cedar Hill is also, another great offensive team. They have really stout defense as well, but they're led by the quarterback, the senior Caden Salter, the Tennessee signee, and I've seen him last year. I saw him this year. He is fantastic throwing the football and running it as well.
Hill wants to throw. Now looks like he's just going to try to run it. Gets a block, but Dalton Johnson slices in to make the tackle for a loss back to the 22. Hill, 9 carries for 10 yards. Dalton Johnson got beat on a 4th down play last week, which ended up being Clear Falls' first of 2 touchdowns. He was inadvertently picked by the umpire as he tried to jump the route. And last week, every time Clear Falls scored, Katy just responded and scored a touchdown right afterwards. Never allowed it to get close. Hill slings it deep, well incomplete. Bobby Taylor had the coverage of Bryant Lewis, the second-team All-District player from a season ago, who's been held in check. Came into this game, he was the prototypical deep ball guy that can stretch defenses vertically. He's got great hands and is a great blocker, but Lewis only has 1 reception for -1 yards this afternoon.
The Katy defense has held Buda Hayes in check all afternoon long, and I'd like to see Katy, more of the same here in the second half. It's 3rd down and 14 now. Expect Hayes to go through the air, but Katy in the secondary has just been playing lights out.
Hill 8 of 14, 79 yards and a couple of fumbles. Tried to run for it to get the Rebels on the board on that untimed down to close out the first half and was stopped at the doorstep. Here's Lewis on the reception. Corkscrewed down by Bobby Taylor at the 31-yard line. That's good for 9. And we'll see what Les Goad tries to do here. Looks like he's going to send out the punting unit, which would be a good decision. They tried to go for it twice in their own half of the field, came up short each time, and Katy took that and rolled with it into the end zone.
Yeah, like you said, that was the highly touted recruit Bobby Taylor on the tackle, and Taylor, for for these corners, you can't just be a cover corner. You got to be able to tackle as well. And that was a nice textbook tackle by Taylor to throw the receiver out of bounds and move on to the next down. It's 4th down now.
And they're going for it. I mean, I guess you have nothing to lose when you're already down by 49. But it is 4th down and 5. They've converted only on 1 4th down today. Hill, complete. They got it right in front of Bobby Taylor. He connects with Lewis at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, that was off coverage there by the Katy defensive backs, and Bryant Lewis just ran a little stop route to the outside and made the catch and easily picked up the 1st down. Didn't even have to run after the catch.
I think you'll probably see some of that here this second half from the Katy defense. At this point, I'm not sure they care about giving up points. They care about getting out of here healthy. Hill steps up in the pocket and will get positive yardage as Cal Varner comes back to get him. About 2.5 yards on the Hill keeper.
Second down.
Les Goad had said after the win last week that the old slot T is still alive. They didn't want to say they were satisfied. You know, some people were just hoping they'd make the playoffs, and here they are in the semifinals. They had to beat Bowie by a certain amount of points just to win, just to get into the playoffs. They made the most of it, going 5 rounds deep, getting back to the state semifinals for the first time since 1996. Will Agnew's a yard shy of the 1st down. 7-yard completion by Hill.
It's 3rd down.
First reception of the afternoon for Will Agnew, 24th for the season. 3rd down and a yard for the Rebels.
Here on 3rd down and a yard for the Buda Hayes Rebels, you can run just about anything you want to run here, and no reason to try to do anything a little too extra, anything too fancy here.
Hill calls his own number and gets 2 into Tiger territory. Second time they've gotten into Katy's half of the field.
It's a Rebel 1st down.
Second 3rd down conversion of the afternoon. 4 minutes gone by here in the 3rd quarter. Katy cruising 49-0. And they will move on to meet Cedar Hill for the 4th time in the state final. Play fake by Hill. Drops it to the outside. Complete to Bruce. He lost the football along the sideline. Katy's recovered.
Number 23 on the reception with a fumble.
Fighting for extra yards. That is the 3rd takeaway by the Tiger defense today.
Yeah, watching the replay, looks like the runner that was Chris Bruce just tried to get out of bounds, and Katy just kept him in bounds. They were able to punch it out before he stepped out of bounds along that far sideline. And like you said, another takeaway for the Katy Tiger defense, and they are rolling.
That's it for Caleb Koger. Bryce Nyrider now at the controls for the Katy Tiger offense. They'll begin from their own 46 with 7:39 to play here in the 3rd. Seth Davis to midfield for a pickup of 4. Nyrider split time at the beginning of the season with Caleb Koger before Caleb Koger won the job. The junior Nyrider, 11 of 24, coming in for 191 yards and 3 touchdowns. Now last week Koger had thrown for just 36 yards, second lowest. Here's Seth Davis breaking tackles down the sideline. He strides and motors down inside the 30 to the 27, picking up 23. But the Tigers' passing game got all of 26 yards against Clear Springs back in week 1. They've had 4 games this season of less than 100 yards passing. Just goes to show you how good they run the football. But Nyrider's in the game. We'll see how much they allow for him to throw the football here in the second half, especially when they really don't have to because the running game has been so prolific. Seth Davis carries down to the 23. And they're getting just huge chunks of yardage. Whether it's 43 yards or 29 yards or first down runs of even just 4 yards, they're never behind the chains.
Yeah, typically when you have 2 running backs that you split up like this, you have what they call the lightning and the thunder, and they can both do a little bit of each one of those. They can both power and use their speed. So I think it's just you never know what you're going to get with this rushing attack of Katy.
On the pitch, Seth Davis. He's already rushed for 3 touchdowns and thrown for another. He is slung down by Vester at the 10 after another 12 yards for his afternoon. Will set the Tigers up with 1st and goal as they try to go a perfect 8 for 8 on offense here in this state semifinal, 5.5 to play. Nyrider will throw. Finds Aiden McKinney. Touchdown. They are 8 for 8. Nyrider's 4th touchdown of the season as he connects with the fullback Aiden McKinney for McKinney's 2nd touchdown grab of the postseason.
Yeah, I like the play call there by the Cape Tiger offense. Nyrider rolling out to that far side of the field on the bootleg, just dumped it off, and it was a safe pass, safe catch, and just took it in for the touchdown. Nothing too fancy that the Cape Tigers have done. This is the way they play their game. They don't do anything too extra. They just play football.
And they're playing a lot of it to the tune of 56 to nothing. 5:04 to play in the 3rd quarter. The Katy Tigers on their way to the state championship game next Saturday at 1 here on Texan Live.
Hey, sports fans, don't forget to go to TexanLive.com and vote for our player of the week. You can also go to TexanLive.com and check out our top 10 plays of the week. And if we missed your top play, you can always send it to us at TexanLive@gmail.com, or you can tag us on Twitter at Texan_live.
Download the free Fox Sports Southwest Football Friday app. Get live high school scores from across the state. Check out team schedules and show your school spirit live online. Download the best high school football app in Texas. Search Football Friday. Friday high school football isn't over till you watch High School Scoreboard live. Final scores, the big plays from gridiron games across the state.
Be a part of the most watched high school football show in Texas.
Friday night on Fox Sports Southwest.
High pooch kick, and Green calls for a fair catch, a little extra after he goes out of bounds. Today's game on Texan Live is brought to you by Panera Bread. Panera Bread believes in raising, serving, and eating food that is good and good for you. 100% of their food is 100% clean. That means no artificial flavors, preservatives, sweeteners, and no colors from artificial sources. Panera Bread, food as it should be. Your Academy Drive summary, 10-yard touchdown pass from Bryce Nyrider to Aiden McKinney. Wraps up a 5-play, 54-yard drive, taking 2 minutes and 35 seconds. That is 8 extra points now for Nemanja Lazic. 5:01 to play, quarter number 3, 56-0 Katy. Hill to throw. Finds an open man for a first down. Out across the 40 to the 42. Austin Sanchez, backup fullback. 4th reception of the season, out to the 42 for a hookup of 12.
I think the most important thing for Hayes on this drive for the Rebels is going to be just don't turn the ball over. I mean, they've turned the ball over 3 or 4 times now, a couple times on downs as well, and just keep the drive going if you're the Rebels.
First down. Hill under pressure. And Jaden Maronin collars him at the 43. It's going to be a pickup of a yard. Setting up a second down and long. Well, not many people gave Hayes much of a chance before the playoffs even started, and Durant Hill said after the win last week that They really don't care what everyone else says. When they come out, they do great things. And they had quite the run through the Region 4 Championship, played all games at home. Go on the road for the first time in this neutral setting. They just went up against a buzzsaw today. Hill hit as he throws, but he does connect with Bodwin at midfield, a couple of yards shy of first down yardage. Marshall and Dante Souls were there to make the tackle.
And Katy just blitzed off the tackle that time, and Hill had a defender, coming at him and still was able to complete the pass. It's a tough play there by the quarterback, the senior Durand Hill.
Coming up on 3 minutes to play. That was the 5th catch of the afternoon for Bodwin. 3rd down and 2. Play clock down to 2. Hill delivers off target to Agnew. Check it, that was Bodwin on the intended target. Here comes another 4th down. They're just getting the second half underway in Katy. Westlake up 17-7 on North Shore. The winner of that one will meet the winner of Southlake, Carroll, and Duncanville in the 6A Division I state championship game next Saturday night at 7 at AT&T Stadium. 4th down and a yard, handoff on the sweep to Bruce. He'll be strung out, but he shakes tackles, and with 2nd and 3rd effort, he's going to be close. We'll see. They gave it to him, 1st down. What a run by Bruce.
Yeah, Chris Bruce is only a sophomore, but that's a senior type run. I mean, he was not going to get it. He was running behind the lines, running horizontally off the right tackle, and broke a couple tackles behind the line and was able to pick up the 1st down, like you said, on the 2nd effort.
That's the biggest 2-yard gain he might ever have. Did a lot to gain 2 and move the chains. Hill fires, incomplete. That time he was trying to get to Will Agnew. Katy hasn't had a shutout in the state semifinals since 2013. They'd like to keep it that way and get another one. That year they smashed San Antonio Johnson at NRG Stadium. Lewis, catch and run for a 1st down as Dalton Johnson comes in to make the tackle at the 39, a 9-yard pass play.
It's 3rd down.
Upcoming the 11th 3rd down of the day. Hayes converting at a 20% clip. And they need a yard. Sanchez has it.
Carried by Sanchez, number 9 for the Rebels. Result of the play. Hayes, 1st and 10.
Pickup of 2 by Sanchez. Senior came in with 343 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns. This is the best drive so far by Hayes since the one that got him down to the 8-yard line at the end of the 1st half. Hill keeps it himself and is upended by Johnson at the 36.
I think the important thing for the Rebels on this drive is to limit those turnovers and not give the ball back to Katy. And I think you want to score, obviously, for Buda Hayes. Just get something on the scoreboard. And once you get on the scoreboard, then after that, you can start thinking about taking out some of your veteran players, putting in some of the younger guys, and maybe playing some of the seniors that don't get to play too often, and playing some of those younger guys that you're going to need to get some playing time for next year.
20 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. Second down and 9 for the Rebels. Hill going through his progressions, slides to his right, throws to the end zone. And that pass is caught. What a touchdown catch by Will Agnew with Jaden Rodriguez draped all over him. A flag thrown at the goal line should be wiped away after Agnew hauls in a 36-yard touchdown catch. Oh, that was some throw and some catch. Fifth touchdown catch of the season for the senior tight end, Will Agnew. So much for the Katy shutout as the Hayes Rebels score for the first time with 3 seconds to go in the third quarter.
We talked about that being the most important thing for Hayes is to get on the scoreboard, at least get something positive, going in this game, and they finally get on the board with an excellent throw by Durand Hill to Will Agnew, and an awesome catch as well.
The extra point is good.
3 seconds remaining in our quarter. Katy 56.
9-play, 70-yard drive taking 5:01. This is the Academy drive summary and a huge 36-yard touchdown pass from Hill to Agnew. Do you have a product or service you'd like to promote? Texan Live has a wide range of advertising opportunities with flexible plans to fit any budget. Reach millions of viewers across our entire platform or choose a more targeted approach aimed at specific school districts or games. Promote your brand and get involved in your community by advertising on Texan Live today. For more information, email sales@texanlive.com or visit us online at texanlive.com. Of course, I don't know where you've been, if you might be hiding under a rock, but the news recently came out last Saturday that Texan Live has been acquired by Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine.
Yes, it's exciting news for all of us here at TexanLive.com. Dave Campbell's, one of the leaders in Texas high school football. The magazine, the shows, everything they do, just fantastic content, and we're happy to be part of the team now.
Of course, our coverage is not complete here in the semifinals. We will be in Arlington next week to provide live audio coverage of the state finals. We will obviously defer to Fox Sports Southwest for their coverage on television, but Texan Live is going nowhere. We will provide live audio coverage of the state championship games next Friday and Saturday, so you don't want to miss out, especially those out of the Fox Sports Southwest viewing area. Onside kick recovered by Katy. They had the hands team out, and Judson Sayanis secures the onside kick, and that will do it for the third quarter of play. The Katy Tigers 56, the Hayes Rebels 7. Stay tuned for the fourth quarter. It's coming your way after these messages on Texan Live.
There's always a way to make joy America, so it's time to get to it. And with the Ford Built for the Holidays sales event, we're here to help. We're giving you the best deals of the season on the adventure-ready Ford Ranger and the Built Ford Tough Ford F-150 to help you make some extra joy this year. Because this season will be as bright as ever. Ford, built for the holidays. Now, get $11,245 total savings on F-150, plus an extra $1,000 trade assist cash. See your best in Texas Ford dealer.
100 years ago, Texas UIL football began to define competitive spirit and tradition. And from that moment, we changed how the game was played. Our gridirons shaped legends. Our leaders went on to bring home national championships and Hall of Fame honors, shattering records, some still standing today. Texas is high school football, deeply rooted in all.
Start of the fourth and final quarter of this Class 6A Division II state semifinal. Bryce Nyrider hands it off to Chase Johnsey. Johnsey runs for 9 down to the 40 of Hayes.
23 on the tackle, Chris Bruce.
With Gavin Moritz and our Texan Live crew, Michael Silvers from McLean Stadium in Waco. This game being produced by Dre Matula, assisted by Trevor Bullard and Brady Sparks. 56-7 as the Katy Tigers on their way to participate in the state championship game since they last won it all in 2015. They return to face an old nemesis, the Cedar Hill Longhorns, next Saturday at 1 in the afternoon. Johnsy on second down has a first down as he picks up 2 more. That is first down number 18. So it's going to be a very pleasant trip home for the Katy Tigers. Wonder which way they came. Did they come the way I did off Highway 6? Probably shot up 99, 290, Highway 6. Well, whichever way they travel home, it's going to be a good one. They have scored on all 8 offensive possessions. Here's Johnsy getting lead blocks and close to another first down. Public address announcer doesn't know there's 2 number 1s. Chase Johnsy doesn't have his name on the back of his jersey. One of the JV call-ups after their season concluded for the playoff run on the Katy varsity team. Yep. Flags halt play. These teams have combined for 7 penalties, now 8, and this will be the 6th on the Tigers. That was called on Caleb Webb. Of course, there was a new record set by an offensive lineman for pancake blocks in a game as Vasilios Katsigiannis broke that record last week in their victory over Clear Falls. Here's Johnsy after the penalty.
Non-rider handoff to number 1, Rodriguez.
Down to the 32.
Tackle by number 54, Aiden Hunt. It's 3rd down.
And folks, believe me, if you hear the public address announcer behind us, the number 1 that's carrying the football is Chase Johnsy. You may hear Jaden Rodriguez, but it's Chase Johnsy. It's getting to a point, some of these high schools now are like colleges where you have duplicate numbers. On 3rd down, flag flies. Nyrider off the play action, throws incomplete to J.R. Sayanis.
It's intended for number 81, Sayanis. Falls incomplete.
Bill Theodore, the official in the white hat today, talking with Hayes of coaching staff. So now it's 4th down for the Tigers after the pass fell incomplete. Nyrider couldn't connect with Sayanis. This is the first 4th down of the afternoon for the Tigers. They lead 56-7 with 8:58 remaining in this state semifinal. Needing the 28. Nyrider wants to throw, slings it complete to Dylan Brown. 4th down converted.
To number 80, Dylan Brown. Results of the play is a first down. Tackle on the play by number 27, Marcus Taylor.
That is a 10-yard hookup that converts the 4th down and moves the sticks.
I like the throw there by Nyrider, rolled out to that far side, just fired a bullet in the arms of his receiver. And I like the decision there by Gary Joseph, the offensive coordinator, there to mix it up and maybe not keep it on the ground on 4th down in a couple, but rather throw it and catch Buda Hayes off guard and keep the drive going.
First down and 10 from the Hayes 26. Johnsy on the cutback, takes it inside the red zone to the 19.
Brought down on the play by number 43, Jake Lopez. 2nd down.
Today's game is a production of Texan Live, and it's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or any other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of Texan Live is strictly prohibited. Coming up on 7.5 to play. And it's 2nd down and 3 for Katy. Johnsy straight ahead. Inside the 10 for 1st down and goal to go. Johnsy runs for another 9 yards.
Result of the play is a Tiger 1st down.
If he's not careful, he'll go over 100 yards. I mean, he's still got a ways to go, but he's running the ball with some proficiency.
Yeah, Katy, subbing in some of their guys in the offensive line, the backfield, just all over the place, putting in some of the reserve players and still just churning out the clock and just running it at will. And just a testament to how deep this Katy Tiger roster is.
The Davis brothers unofficially combining for 285 yards today. 5 touchdowns on the ground. Seth with a touchdown pass. Johnsy following blocks down to the 4. Duncanville, 2nd quarter, trailing Southlake Carroll by a score of 14-13. Meanwhile, it is still a 10-point margin for the Westlake Shaps as they lead North Shore in the 3rd quarter, 17-7. Of course, congratulations go out to the Crosby Cougars, headed to the 5A finals after their 1-point victory over Liberty Hill last night. What a game. Johnsy. Did he get in? No signal yet. He has stopped an eyelash short.
Rodriguez on the carry, short of the goal, tackled by number 42, Zach Hobart. It's 3rd.
Yeah, Michael, you said that Liberty Hill Crosby game last night. That was one of the better games I think I've watched. And Crosby, stopping Liberty Hill in that 2-point conversion try and finish the game 62-61. Just incredible.
That's a Big 12 score.
Yes, it was. Liberty Hill also runs the slot too.
They do. And they do it under center. Will Nyrider just take it over center? Yes, he will. Gets a push. He's in. How about a 9-for-9 day for this offense? Nyrider's 2nd touchdown on the ground this season. And when I talk with Gary Joseph later this upcoming week, I'm going to ask him what he nitpicks. Because from up here, it's hard to nitpick anything that the Katy Tigers have done. Maybe that long pass play late 1st quarter. Maybe the decision by Silva, or Sayanis, I know it was Antonio Silva, to run backwards on the punt return. But you couldn't ask of anything more from your offense. 9 for 9. It is 63-7 here in this 6A Division II state semifinal. 5:19 to play, 4th quarter.
Let's get to it, America. Because joy doesn't just happen. You make it happen. And during the Ford Built for the Holidays sales event, we're helping you make even more joy. Come get the best deals of the season with offers on select Ford SUVs and Ford Fusion. Everything you need to make the holidays brighter than ever. That's how we're making joy this season. How will you? Now get $13,955 in savings on Expedition or 0 for 72 plus $2,500 on Explorer at your Texas Ford dealer.
Apply to the university that offers 98 unique degree plans. The university where 99% of students receive financial assistance. The university where you belong. Apply to Texas A&M University Kingsville today.
Let's get to it, America. Because joy doesn't just happen. You make it happen. And during the Ford Built for the Holidays sales event, we're helping you make even more joy. Come get the best deals of the season with offers on select Ford SUVs and Ford Fusion. Everything you need to make the holidays.
City of Katy drives summary, a 1-yard touchdown run by Bryce Nyrider. 10 plays, 51 yards, 6:44 the time. High pooch kick by Axel Robertson.
47 receives the kick, Marcus Taylor.
Well, last week, Katy had a drive that went 6 minutes, 43 seconds. At the time, it was their longest possession of the season, which resulted in a touchdown up until today. 6 minutes, 44 seconds with the Nyrider run right over his center. 5:19, now 5:12 remaining. 63-7 Katy. Hayes back to work from their own 33. in the last 5-12 of this 6A Division II state semifinal. Hill hit as he throws, launches one deep, wide open man, incomplete off the fingertips of Bryant Lewis.
Bryant Lewis, number 1.
He had beaten the secondary.
Incomplete, second down.
The pass was just a bit too strong.
Yeah, he was hit right as he threw was Durant Hill, the senior quarterback, likely playing in his final high school game. Wanted to maybe get another touchdown to his name, but just a bit too far over the head of his receiver. And like you said, hit as he throws. That's a hard pass to complete.
Hill 16 of 24, 171 yards today. Has a touchdown. He's coughed it up twice. Here comes second down and 10 for the Rebels.
Pass complete to
Lewis will get it out
Lewis,
to the 37 as Jaden Rodriguez makes the tackle. Brings up the 12th third down now. Third down and 6. Hill, pocket collapses, and down he goes. Sacked for the second time this afternoon, back at the 30-yard line.
Tackle behind the line.
Boy, they just came crashing. That brings them back to the 30-yard line. Might have been Broderick Johnson. Maybe even Elijah Stewart on fourth down. Going with the gadget play. Lewis is in all sorts of trouble. Heaves it. It's caught. Coming back to make the catch is the quarterback Hill. But he'll be stopped short of the first down at the 41-yard line. They needed 13. They got 11. It's a turnover on downs.
Yeah, I like the call there. Just, this is the second time we've seen him pull something out of the bag of tricks, as we call it, out of the back pocket of the offensive coordinator. And I like the call here with 3:39 left. Not much to lose. Maybe not earlier in the game like when they ran it, I believe, in the first quarter, but here I like the call.
3:39. That's all Katy needs to do now is take the rest of this clock and end this one here in Waco as they will meet the Cedar Hill Longhorns 1 p.m. next Saturday afternoon from AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Third quarterback used today by Gary Joseph. James Campbell hands it off to Chase Johnsey. Johnsey will dive down to the 35.
Number 1, Rodriguez. Tackle on the play by Josh Mayo, number 17. It's second down.
Our public address announcer may not have received the playoff roster. It's the only thing I can think of is why he continues to get Johnsey's name wrong. 9 minutes gone by here in the fourth quarter. Katy has scored touchdowns on all 9 of their offensive possessions today. Campbell hands it off.
Ivy Bell.
And Ivy Bell
takes the handoff.
Gets right back to the line of scrimmage.
Third down.
I like that Gary Joseph has put Campbell in the game at quarterback. I like it a lot because he's a senior. This is probably the last time he's probably going to get to play. That game next against Cedar Hill may not be as close, or it'll probably be closer than this one, I imagine. Cedar Hill, a very talented Longhorn team, and just a nice opportunity here for Katy today to get in some of those seniors that don't typically get to play.
Yeah, just no suspense on this one. Katy took care of that early in the first quarter. Plenty of suspense in the 6A Division I state semifinals, though. Look at this run, charging this side of the field. Ivy Bell, second straight run with a flag down as he takes it and runs it down to the 10 for 25, but we'll check the marker.
Justin Montoya.
North Shore has cut the lead down to 3 for Westlake. It is 17-14, 1:45 to go in the third quarter in Katy at Legacy Stadium. J.R. Sayanis called for holding. Well, Chase and Burt have a good one going down in Katy.
Absolutely they do, and they had a good one last night too, and I think the game today, I think that'll be a good test for both those teams. North Shore, probably hasn't played many close games this year, nor has Westlake, and I think the winner of that one should be in pretty good position to compete for another state title.
Ivy Bell on the pitch on 3rd and short. Another flag is thrown as Bell will pick up the first down, at least for the moment.
Number 30, Bell on the play.
Twisted down by Ian Crow.
Number 49, Ian Crow. Flag.
Clock stop with 1:27 to go.
Personal foul, illegal shot clock on the offense, number 69 is his defender. The penalty is 15 yards from the previous spot. Remains on down.
Well, that's something that Gary Joseph can nitpick. 8 penalties. Only 3 of them for 5 yards. The rest have been 10 or 15-yard infractions.
I always say penalties are the one thing that are going to drive the coach just absolutely crazy, and especially in a state semifinal game. I know Katy's up, 63-7, but still they got to work on those penalties going into next week if they want to, play against a team like Cedar Hill.
So it's 3rd down, 16 to go. James Campbell in under center, the 3rd quarterback of the day. Here's the delay, Chase Johnsey. We'll get a yard shy of the original line of scrimmage. It's 4th down and 11.
Tackled on the play by number 34, Justin Montoya.
.50 seconds to go. And the celebration will become official. Katy back to the state championship game for the first time since they beat Lake Travis in 2015. 34-7 at NRG Stadium for state championship number 8. They won their first one all the way back in 1959 as a 1A program when they defeated Sundown. It took them 38 years before they won their second, and they've won 7 since 1997. 17 seconds to go. 4th down, and Fuller Shirts to come out to punt it for the first time today. He's averaging 37.1 yards per punt. Shirts had 2 punts blocked against Shadow Creek 2 weeks ago and had a 28-yarder on the 1 punt he executed last week against Clear Falls. It went 28 yards. Nobody back for Hayes. That one goes out of bounds. We'll see where the official marked it. 17, 30 yards. That leaves 10 seconds here in this 6A Division II state semifinal. The Katy Tigers, for the 2nd time in this postseason run, have scored 60 or more. They put 60 up on Lamar in the area round, 49 against Shadow Creek in the semifinals. 51 last week over Clear Falls, and now 63 here in the state semifinals against Hayes.
Yeah, just an impressive postseason run by Katy, an impressive year altogether, minus the game against Tompkins that they did lose. But this is a Katy team that a lot of people expected could go to state, and they are, and they're off to Arlington.
A very challenging year with COVID-19 and playing football in a pandemic and having to adjust your schedules accordingly week after week sometimes. Final play, it's for a loss by this Katy defense, and they're headed back to the state championship game for the first time since 2015. (63-7). The Tigers scored on 9 possessions, punted just once, and that was with less than a minute to go in today's game. Mighty impressive victory. And now the hope, if you're a Katy Tiger fan, is that they have saved their best for last.
And Katy's going to go up against a very talented Cedar Hill team. I think that will be one of the best games of the weekend. I know there's only 4, but that one's going to be, in my opinion, one of the best ones I think we've seen in quite some time.
They met 3 times, back to back to back. Katy won in 2012, then Cedar Hill won the last 2 in a row in 2013 and 2014. It took 6 years, but it'll be matchup number 4 between those 2 programs next Saturday at 1 from AT&T Stadium here on Texan Live. We will have live audio coverage of all the games next weekend, but specifically this one, as Katy and Cedar Hill will meet for the 4th time for the state championship. That's it here from McLean Stadium in Waco. For my broadcast partner Gavin Moritz and our entire Texan Live crew, this is Michael Silvers saying so long from the campus of Baylor University. This has been a presentation of Texan Live, your home for high school sports. For more, log on to our website, texanlive.com. Until next weekend from Arlington, so long for now.
All right, folks, that is it. That is it. Thank y'all for coming out, man. 700 people came through to look at the game. That's dope. If y'all can, on the way out, hit the like button. Also, the membership button has gotten active. That's the fastest that YouTube has ever done it. It's done within 24 hours, not even like 10 hours. They have activated our membership button. So, with that being said, we're gonna be doing some like I'm gonna be dropping some like old high school videos and stuff like that for members only, and like pay-per-view streams that I'm doing. Those will be members only as well, just so we don't get the videos taken down. So anyway, I will see y'all next weekend for the state championship games for Cedar Hill and for Southlake Carroll. Y'all have a blessed day. See y'all next week, man. Enjoy y'all's week. Peace.